Hi grade 11, in today's video we are going to do income statement. So obviously income statement, guys, is for paper 1 if you are writing paper 1 and paper 2. So please make sure that you watch the whole video, because I'm going to explain everything from sales until the net profit. So also, if you are coming here for the first time, guys, please support us by subscribing, because this channel is still going to help you to go through accounting when you go to grade 12. Okay, so let's start with our question paper. So the question paper that we have, guys, it was written 2023 in the province of Limpopo. So you have to make sure that you also watch other videos, guys, because I did the other videos from different provinces. So it's best to learn the different kind of trick from different provinces. Okay, so let's read our required. Prepare the statement of comprehensive income, which is income statement for the year end 30 June 2022, which means that our year started 1 July 2021. So you have to take note of that, because we have to use a 12-month period when we prepare income statement. Okay, so information number 1, they give us list of some balances and total of goods hope traders on 30 June 2022. Okay, then they give us from trading stock until a sundry expense. All right, then after that they give us other additional information that we are going to read them one by one. Okay, so when we prepare income statement, guys, the first part, of course, we have to deal with what? A sales, cost of sales, then we go to gross profit, then after that we're gonna proceed. All right, then the balance that we need to check first is from our pre-adjustment or trial balance. Okay, then if you check on the trial balance, we have a sales amount of 1,032,000, which means that we have to open a bracket first, guys. We don't just write it in the as a final amount, because we don't know if we have any transaction that is going to affect our sales. Okay, so it's amount of 1,032,000. Okay, then after that, guys, remember this is the amount of sales. This is the goods that we have sold. But if something has been returned, we have to go and do what? And subtract. Okay, because it can be part of sales if a customer has returned that good. Okay, then we have the words debtors allowance. When we talk about a debtors allowance, guys, this simply means that our customer has returned a good, which means that we have to go and take out that amount of debtors allowance of 32,000. 32,000. All right, now before we close this one, we must first check as well on the adjustment, if we have any adjustment that is related to a goods returned by the customer. Okay, let's take additional information. If you check additional information number 2.3, a credit note of 225 issued on 30 August 2021 to Monty has not been recorded. The stock was returned by Monty because of the wrong t-shirt. So this customer returned the goods because the color is not the one that the customer is looking for, which means that that amount is no longer sales. We have to do what? Subtract. Minus 225. But you have to take note of this, guys. If you check the last part, they say that the markup on cost for these goods was 50%, which means that this amount we still have to subtract it under cost of sales, but using a what? A cost amount, because this one is a selling amount. We have to subtract that 50% using a markup calculation. Okay, so this one, obviously, we are going to close now because we don't have any other transaction. Then it's gonna give us 999 and 775. Okay, now let's go to cost of sales. The first one that we have to start with is the one on the trial balance. Okay, on the trial balance, guys, we have 427,000. This one you just copy and paste there. Then after that, we have to subtract that amount that I was talking about, but we have to calculate what? We have to calculate a markup first. Okay, how do we calculate a markup? Now, because we are going down, the higher percentage must be on the bottom, which means that we are going to say 225 multiplied by 100 over 150. Why 150? Because the markup is 50%. This side is always 100. We just added that 50% that they give us. If they give us 20, it was going to be 120. But this calculation is applicable when you are going down to cost of sales. But if you are going up to sales, you have to put 150 on top and this one on the bottom. Okay, so if you do this calculation, you are going to get 150. So I don't have a space for calculation. I was just showing you how I got this 150. I use this calculation. Very simple. Okay, now our cost of sales, we can calculate it and get the total. Remember, cost of sales is always on the bracket. It's 426,850. Then after that, you just subtract these two and you're gonna get a gross profit of 572,925. All right, so we are done with the first part. Okay, then the second part now, we have to calculate, apology, I was supposed to write it here, 572,925. This space will be for other income total. Okay, so now we have a side of other income and side of expenses. Okay, then I already listed the other income that we have so that we won't waste a time, as well as a space. I was trying to measure a space because we also have a lot of expenses. So we have rent income, discount received, bad debts recovered, provision for bad debts. I'm still going to explain why in this case it comes to other income, because sometimes you will find it here on the expenses. Okay, let's keep watching. So the first one that we are going to follow on our adjustment, if it is there, it is discount received. Discount received, we don't have any transaction. We're just gonna copy 4,200 from our trial balance, but there was no marks allocated there, so you don't have to worry about that one. Okay, then another one, we have a rent income. A rent income, the first step, we open a bracket and copy the one that we have on our trial balance. Okay, so the one that we have, rent income, is 47,250. Okay, now we have to go to additional information number 2.5. They said a rent income include the rent received until 31 July 2022. The monthly rent was increased by 10% with effect from 28 February 2022. So in this case, what happened is that they already included the rent for July. They included rent for July, and remember our year is ending June, which means that there is advance payment, which is not allowed under income statement, which means that we have to subtract here. But now the question is, how much are we going to subtract? Okay, we have to do some complex calculation in this case. Okay, so if you check, they say the rent has been increased by 10% from February, which means that the one that we are going to subtract has already included what? A 10% increase. So this one I'm just going to show you on the calculator so that it can be very simple for you. Okay, so this is how you should calculate a rent income. So 2.5, they said the rent income received until 31 July 2022, and the monthly rent was increased by 10% with effect from 28 February 2022. So if you check here, the rent has been paid for 13 months because our reporting period ends 30 June 2022, and they pay until July, which means that we have to calculate 13 months here. Okay, so we have to get amount before rent increase, because the amount that we have of 47,250 has included the amount of rent increase and before increase. So this is what you need to do on your calculator. First, determine
how many months before rent increase. In this case, we're gonna count from last year 1 July 2021 until 28 February. So it's going to give us 8 months before rent increase. Then rent increase from 1 March 2022 until July. Then it's gonna be in this way. 8 months is for before increase, then you said plus 5 months is after increase. So guys, when you add them together, they must give you 13. So please make sure that you do it correctly, because if you put 7 the other side and you put 6 the other side, even though it's gonna give you 13, you're not going to get the same amount. Okay, then you said you open a bracket and you say, remember they said the rent increased by 10%, which means that on top is always 100, then you add 10 and it's give you 110. Okay, and here you write 100. Formula is always like this. On top you just add the percentage that has been added. So if you do this calculation, you're gonna get 13.5. This 13.5 is the one that you're going to use to divide the amount that has been given. They give us 47,250 and you divide by 13.5 that you got on that calculation. Then you will get the amount before rent increase. Then the amount before rent increase is 3,500. Okay, then after that, now you can calculate after increase that we need to subtract on for July, because it doesn't belong to financial reporting period that we are doing. Okay, then you're gonna get amount of 3,850. So this is how you should calculate the rent when you are given a percentage increase.
Okay, then after that you are going to subtract the amount that we got on our calculator of 3,850. Okay, then after that you will get amount of 43,400. Okay, now let's proceed. Another one, we have a bad debt recovered. Okay, bad debt recovered, they give us on the trial balance, they give us amount of 1,000 from our trial balance. Then after that we have to check on additional information. Okay, under additional information number, let me check which additional information. Additional information number 2.7. Bobby Lewis, a debtor whose account has been previously written off, deposited amount of 210 in the bank account of the business. So this person was written off already. We were already give up that we are not going to get this money, but somehow this person come back and pay amount of 210, which means that it's income to us, it's other income. We were not planning to get it. Okay, then we're gonna get amount of 2,110. Okay, then provision for bad debts, we're gonna go to adjustment number 2.9. The provision for bad debts must be decreased by 200. Listen very carefully. So this one has decreased. What is provision for bad debts? This is the people that we are doubting that are they going to pay us? If more people are not going to pay us, it's loss. But if less people are not, we are doubting that they are not going to pay us, it's profit to us because more are coming to pay. If it decrease, if number of people decrease, it's income because more are going to pay. We're no longer doubting them. But if they increase, it's going to be expensive because more people, we are doubting that they are going to pay us. Then it will be income in this case because it has decreased amount of 200. Very simple. So after that, we no longer have any other income. Then we're gonna get amount of 49,010 rand. Okay, very simple. So after that we have to go to gross operating income. You just add gross profit and other income, then you will get gross operating income of 610,935, just like that. Okay, then let's proceed. Now we are going to expenses. We have a lot of expenses. Okay, but I want us to start with these three expenses that there was no any max allocation in this case because there was no any adjustment and the amount was given. Okay, so number one, it was salaries and wages, 163,700. So in your answer book, this amount were already written down. Okay, so they didn't allocate any marks because it's more obvious. Okay, these three amount. The first one is salaries and wages, discount allowed, and sundry expense. Now we have to go to water and electricity. There was a max here. The reason is because we have to work out something. Okay, the first one, we have to take it from our balance or list of balances. Okay, it was 25,000, and we check additional information. Okay, additional information number 2.11, water and electricity for June 2022 has been received but not paid. Okay, amount of 5,000. They are saying that it was not yet paid. If not yet paid, we have to add it. If paid in advance, we subtract it because we are making sure that everything that we record is for 12 months. Okay, so this one is for June and our year is ending June, which means that it's still within our period. We have to add it, we don't subtract. Okay, then I think it's gonna give us 30,000. Simple. Okay, now let's go to insurance. Insurance, we have to open a bracket because we have some workings that we need to do. The first one, we take it from trial balance, which is 6,400. Then after that, we go to additional information and read. Okay, additional information number, the one for insurance is 2.4. Included in the insurance amount is annual premium of 2,400 paid for period of January 2022 to December. Remember, our year is ending June, which means that they already included until December and we don't have to include advance payment, which means that we have to cut on June. January to June, we are going to take it because it's still within our period. The other one, we have to subtract it. It doesn't belong here, which means that we're expecting to subtract something here. But the amount that they give us is 2,400, which is for 12 months. So because we are going to take for 6 months only, the calculation that you need to do is 2,400 multiplied by 6 over 12. I know that you can just divide by 2 and get the answer, but try to use this method. The reason is because if our year it was ending July, you were supposed to write 7 here. And now it was going to give you a problem. How much are you going to use to divide? So it's another story. So just use this method. 6. Then it's going to give you 1,200. 1,200. Okay. Then after that, you just calculate and you're going to get the amount of how much? 5,200. 5,200. Very simple, guys. Very simple. So if you are starting a grade 11 and next year you are still going to do accounting, please make sure, guys, we are selling a study guide for accounting as well as for mathematics, as well as for those who are doing mathematical literacy, because I know that some students, they don't prefer a pure maths, but they prefer maths literacy. You can just text us so that we can arrange for you, so that you can get a study guide, so that you can prepare yourself for grade 12 at the lower price, guys. Very cheap. Okay, let's proceed. The following transaction is packing material. Okay, packing material, we have adjustment, which means that we have to open a bracket. Okay, then the first one, we have a packing material of 4,200. Where did we get this 4,200? Okay, let's go to our trial balance. Packing material is 4,200 on our trial balance. Then additional information number 1, we have to add what we purchase. It's like we are saying opening plus purchase minus closing. Simple as that. And 2.2, we have packing material of on hand for the year end, which is 900 minus closing. Opening, purchase minus closing. You know this process. You do it when you also do a manufacturing account. Okay, then it's gonna give you 3,800. This is free max, guys, free max. Okay, then now let's proceed. Another one, we have a stationery. We check on the trial balance first. A stationery, we have amount of 4,100, and we check if we have any adjustment for stationery. Okay, for stationery, they say that 2.1, a packing material of 500 purchased on 21 August 2021 was incorrectly posted in the stationery account. So the one that we record here is correct, of 500, but it was mistakenly recorded on the stationery account. So which means that we have to go and subtract it on this account. We are going to say minus 500 because it was recorded on the incorrect account. Okay, then after that we will be done with stationery account. We just subtract here. The reason is because this amount, it doesn't belong to stationery, but it belongs to packing material. Okay, then it's gonna give us 3,600. 3,600. Okay, now let's proceed to bed-aids. Bed-aids, the first step, obviously we are going to take the one from trial balance. This one, I think you're familiar with it. You just take the one from trial balance, copy it, then we check additional information. Okay, additional information number, okay, let's check the one for bed-aids. I think it's number 2.7, 2.8. Okay, account of Ronaldo, a data for 450 must be written off as it comes to light that he has left the country to play soccer in France. So this person is no longer in South Africa. Obviously, he's not going to pay us anymore, which means that we have to do to write this person off. We are going to add 450. Okay, then it's gonna give us 1,950. Very simple. Okay, then another one, we have bank charges, but bank charges, it doesn't have any adjustment. Just gonna copy it, 840. Then after that we have a trading stock deficit. Okay, let's show this one. It's very simple, this one, guys. I know that some people, they complain about it, but let's do it. The first one that you are going to take is from our pre-adjustment. Guys, when you start income statement, any adjustment, you start from our trial balance, then you go to additional information. From trial balance, we have 81,000. Okay, then after that, remember we have a amount of 150 of goods which has been returned, which means that if we return goods, it's going to add on our trading stock. We have 150 which has been returned plus 150. We are adding it back because customer returned it to us. Okay, Then after that, you're gonna minus a closing of 79,100. Okay, the one which is on hand on adjustment number 2.2. Then after that, you're gonna close it, and you will get a trading stock deficit of 2050. So if we don't have deficit, you're gonna get 0 when you do calculation. Okay, which means that if you get 0, no deficit. Okay, then depreciation. The last adjustment, they said 27,470 is for depreciation calculated for the year. So there was no need to calculate any depreciation in this case because it's given. Okay, then after that, guys, I think we will be done with all expenses. Then after that, we're gonna get a total of 281,000. Total, you have to make sure that it is on the bracket to show that it's an expense. Okay, 281,110. Okay, now we are going to last part, operating profit. Operating profit is gross operating income minus expenses. Then it will give us amount of 340,825. Okay, then interest income. Okay, let's open a bracket. Interest income that we are given, interest on fixed deposit, it will fall under interest income, is 500. But additional information 2.10, they say sum of interest of fixed deposit is outstanding, interest is not capitalized. Okay, which means that we have to check. If you check on our list of balance, fixed deposit of CABC is 8% per year. Then the amount that we have is 12,500. If you take 12,500 multiplied by 8%, it's gonna give you 1,000. Okay, so this is the amount that was supposed to be recorded here, which means that the one that they are saying that sum of interest on fixed deposit is outstanding is different between 1,000 and 500, which means that we have to add 500 so that it can give us 1,000 this side. Very simple. You don't just calculate this 8%, you get 1,000 and you record 500 plus 1,000. No, because already 500 has been recorded. It's sum of interest. Okay, then profit before interest expense is gonna give us 341,825. Okay, then another one we have interest expense. Interest expense, the one that we are given is 360. We open a bracket and say 360. Then after that we do a calculation for additional information 2.6. Okay, under 2.6 they provide us information about a loan. Okay, they say the loan statement received from ICC show the following: balance and repayment, interest capitalized is not given. Then another one, they give us balance on 30 June. This one is very simple, guys. You take opening balance minus repayment minus closing. In other words, you say 42,875 minus 10,000 minus 40,000. Okay, it's 10K, 40K. Then it will give you interest capitalized, which is going to be 7,125. This is the one that you are going to add here, 7,125. Okay, and you will get 7,400 and 7,485. Okay, then after all, guys, that's where you're going to get now your net profit of 334,340. So that's how you should compile your income statement. So I hope you enjoy and you learn something on my video. Please guys, before you leave, make sure that you have subscribed, you like the video, and also support us by buying a study guide, guys. It's gonna be very cheap, and those who are very far, guys, you just gonna use a soft copy. Okay, it's gonna help you guys to go through grade 12. Even for grade 11, the guide is also available. It have a lot of questions and a lot of solutions, as well as some explanation, okay, on how the answer was calculated. Okay, everything is there on the guide. So I hope you enjoy, and I'm gonna see you on the next one.